It wasn't my fault. It was self-defense.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am the generous queen. Ask Miss Ellen.
What's up, YouTube and all that inhabited? I am the generous King DaQwon, and you are YouTube and all that inhabited. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing swell, and if you are feeling me, hit that notification bell, because we get lit over here. Today, as you can tell by the title, I am back with another story time video, because y'all know I be coming with the stories. Honestly, I don't even be having a lot of story time, but you know, I just be like sitting in my daily life, and you know, now we on quarantine, so I just be having stuff to think about and just remembering like all the stuff that is like happened to me in life that, you know, sometimes you wish you can go back and change and, you know, not make the same mistakes. Before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe so you can stick around, you know, become a part of my gang, because like I said, we be getting lit, and we still out here trying to think of a name. If somebody has suggestions, y'all can leave them in the comments, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Just make sure you like and subscribe. But without further ado, I'm gonna get into this little story time, this little story. It's funny, I have, like, my last story time was something about school. This one is going to be about my school. It's the same school, just different grades. This story time is going to be about the time that I got suspended from school. I got suspended from school when I was in 4th grade, y'all. Like, what are you doing at 4th grade? In 4th grade to be getting suspended? Only me. Well, not only me, because apparently a lot of people be doing it. But I promise y'all, it wasn't my fault. It was self-defense. So in 4th grade, the school that I was attending, which is also the school that I graduated from for high school, I had just started there in 3rd grade. So yeah, I was still getting used to a different type of environment, because the school I went to before was like a public school, and they used to be getting bucked in the public schools, okay? They used to, and I was only in 2nd grade. You know, if you see people getting bucked in 2nd grade, it's a problem. They used to be out just doing anything. But I'm not surprised. We used to be at recess climbing gates and stuff at 2nd grade, just doing anything, just anything. Oh, you know how, like, as children, like, you have those little, like, cute relationships, like, oh yeah, you want to be my girlfriend, you want to be my boyfriend, blah blah blah. Everyone falls in love, and you just be so happy, and the parents are just like, oh yeah, this is so cute. Well, it's usually like the parents of like the boy that are fine, and then the girl's parents are just like, oh, I don't know about this, so whatever. So, you know, you have those little relationships. I had a little relationship with someone who will not be named, and they attended, we both attended the same school. We were in the same class, and I had met them the previous year before, and I believe we were together both years, technically. I don't know, y'all. You know, kids be doing whatever. We used to always just be like so like fake lovey-dovey, like on the phone all day, all this other stuff. I remember one day we were on the phone and we were about to hang up, and my mom needed to use the phone, so she told me to hang up, and I was on the phone saying I love you, and my mom started going off on me.
Who are you up there telling them you love them? You don't love that girl. You don't even know what love is.
When I tell y'all I cried, I literally like cried, because why she gotta yell at me? Like, she could just told me, like, don't be saying it to people, like, you are a child. But she yelled at me. Guess it was supposed to be some kiddie relationship, whatever. Cool. So one day, when I tell you, like kids do, so it's not I don't even blame the person to this day, but it's just like one day they would just like, emotions would like flip, you know, like kids, like, you know, one day you say you like somebody, and next day you just like you don't, and it's just like that's just what kids do. Like, they go back and forth with their friendships and their relationships, whatever. They go back to one day they don't like you, one day they don't. So, on a day that we did not like each other, it's like we're going back and forth at the damn lunch table. Fourth graders going back and forth. And the thing about me is, when I go back and forth with you, it's only so much that I feel like I'm gonna say or like get out before I feel like I actually want to hit you. And I've always been like that. It's like I can't really sit and argue with people too much. Not that, and I haven't been in like fights or like stuff like that, like full blown fights. But it's so much that I just want to say. Like I can't produce myself to sometimes just sit and argue with people for too long. Another thing about when I argue with people, it's like I just be, which I think a lot of people are, it's just like you be trying to say stuff to like hurt the other person. I wasn't that mature at the time to think like you can't say certain things, you can't do certain things. So yeah, some things would have been said, and I mean, what can I say? So we sitting here going back and forth at the lunch table, and you know, just saying little kitty stuff, and I'm like,
I don't want to be with you no more. You ugly. My mom was right about you. She told me I shouldn't be with you. Blah, 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 blah.
and then they're over there like,
P word, P word, P word.
and I'm not exaggerating. That is what was said. It's not that I'm blocking out the word. That is what was said to me, and I will never forget that. And I don't know why that was just so interesting to me. But maybe because I don't do stuff like that. I did whisper a couple curse words to the person, but I don't anytime like, and I've always been too like more advanced than I should be, like mentally, which isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing. But if I was going to curse at you as a child, I would just curse the same way I am today. If I'm just going to curse, I'm just going to curse. But and that's not good, because children should not be out here cursing. But I ain't gonna be sitting out here calling you like B word. No, what is that? We weren't grown, but no. If we ain't gonna say it, we just ain't gonna say it. Rules that my school had was like no physical contact, so like we really couldn't even hug half the time without getting yelled at. So you know, since you can't really hit each other, you know, you bump each other. So we're sitting there bumping each other back and forth, and I got tired of bumping, so I kicked them, and I guess she kicked me back, but I kicked her again, and it's just like, stop. Like, I mean, I get it. I escalated the situation, but I don't know. So, a backstory to that is like, another issue I had is growing up. Of course, they try to teach males don't hit females, like, ever. But my mom told me after a certain point, like, you don't hit girls that don't hit you first. And granted, she necessarily didn't kick me first, but you bumped me. And I feel threatened by that. And I don't care if you are a female. I don't care if you're a 4-year-old and you come up and bump me. Don't bump me, because now we have a problem. And I ain't saying I'm going to kick a 4-year-old, because I ain't going to kick nobody's child. But don't bump me, because this ain't that. And no, you don't want this. You don't want this issue. I'm thinking like, you know, everything is like, we fine after this, because like we just stopped talking. We go back to class. Nothing is going on. And this happened on a Monday. This happened, and I specifically know it was on a Monday for a reason. It happened on a Monday because I didn't get suspended the same day. I got suspended the next day. And the day, I only got suspended for a day. And the day after that was the day before Thanksgiving. So we were going on break. So, this happened on a Monday. Go home. Cool. Everything's fine. And you know, as kids, when you do something that you're really not supposed to do, you won't be telling your parents. But I should have told my mom, because the difference is, Yeah, I would have still been probably still been a little bit of trouble for egging on the situation, but after I explained it to the situation to my mom later, she told me like, yeah, the punishment would have been less severe had I told her the full story from the beginning. Again, I come back to school the next day, and I guess she had went home and told her mom how like what was happening. So we're getting called in the office, and to tell what happened. So we had to write down statements as to what happened, and I literally wrote, I was yelling and kicking her. That's literally all I wrote on a statement. And he was like,
"That's all you have to say?"
I said,
Yeah.
like, what else am I going to say? So that was the end of that. For that part, like, we were sitting in the office, and then they were like, they sent me back to class. The thing about it is, me not thinking anything of it, I'm just like, whatever. Later in the day, before I went home, they brought me a note in an envelope, and they was just like, make sure your parent get this. And somebody else in my class was telling me like,
You got suspended.
and I'm just like, no, I didn't, because they didn't say anything to me about it. Like, they never said I got suspended. They just said, make sure your parents gets this note. Whole time, they had already called my house and told my mom, like, yeah, he got suspended. And then they give you the note to tell you, like, when you can come back to school, and how when you come back to school, your parent has to bring you back to school, and you have to have like a conference before you can go to class. So I get the note, but before, I told you again, I was an overthinker. The whole bus ride home, I'm on the bus like praying to God and talking to myself in my head like,
Please don't let me get suspended. Like, I know I didn't get suspended. Like, you ain't do nothing that bad. Like, God, can you please get me out of this? Like, I promise you I won't do it again. Like, please just make it so that I'm not suspended. Make it to seem like this note just says like something happened, but not suspension.
yo, and growing up, my mom was crazy. Like, she calmed down now because she got them grandkids, but she was a little crazy. So I didn't want to be going home and dealing with that, because I already knew what it was hitting for. I was getting hit, so I knew. I knew as soon as I got in the house, it was gonna be a problem. Of course, as soon as I got home, she started yelling, and I'm just like, she's yelling at me, talking about me and your sister ain't never got suspended. Like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, not saying nothing. Like, she told me to go in my room and take off my clothes, and I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm gonna be able to take a nap. And she comes in with the belt like, and I got you do the crime, you do the time. I had to face the consequences. But y'all know, like, after you get like, let me use the proper term. After you get a spanking, you have like the best naps. Like, I don't know, I know y'all out there, y'all can relate. It's like the best naps after that. And I don't know, you like cry yourself to sleep. I went to sleep. I woke up and dinner was done. We had some fish. And I remember I asked my mom, could I eat? And she was like, I never said that you couldn't eat. Like, it's like, what is wrong with you? But I know she was still mad at me. So she said it in like a way. And I was mad. And I went downstairs to get my food. And I started crying again because my feelings was hurt. After I went to my dad's house, and it's because I spend like every holiday with my dad. On Christmas, I spend like both. Like, if something is being done on Christmas, I stay, like, I wake up with my mom and I go to my dad's later. But Thanksgiving, I usually was always just staying there. So I remember when he brought me over there, he had asked me how was school going, and I didn't say anything, and he was like, yeah, I heard, we'll talk about it later, because he was going to sleep. But and I was upset again, and it was because my mom had already told him, which I should have expected. But I don't know, I told y'all before, like, I don't want my dad to ever look at me in a way that like he's disappointed in me for anything. And granted, he never told me like I disappointed him for that, but I never want him to think that about me. That really would like crush me. And I just always want him to think like, you know, I'm perfect. Even I can admit when I'm wrong, but I don't want him to look at me like that. After the whole Thanksgiving break and I had to go back to school, my mom took me to school and we had to meet with my principal, and we just had like this talk about like what happened, and he was trying to make it seem like everything was on me and that I should take responsibility for it, and telling my mom like,
we don't teach our young men to hit young ladies.
And my mom was like,
Well, I don't teach my kids not to hit anyone back that puts their hands on them, regardless of the situation.
and I'm just like, I was so happy. I was just, because I was tired of like the whole time it's like I'm being blamed for it, and it's like, yeah, I had some part in it. I'll admit to my part in it, and yeah, but we ain't gonna sit here and make it seem like I was just out here bullying and harassing this girl when it was like we were going back and forth, but you just couldn't take the fact that of what I was saying, so you got upset. But also, again, we were kids, so I don't know. Somewhere in that meeting I started crying again. And my mom was like, what are you crying for? Like, what is going on? It was, yeah, I was fine though, and I ended up going to class, and the rest was fine. Like me and the girl became friends again, so it was fine after the fact. But during the whole situation, it was just like a lot was going on. But you know, you live and you learn. I want to thank y'all for tuning into my channel once again. If you like this video and you want me to do more story times, like, comment, subscribe. Put it down in the comment section. If you want to follow me on all social media, my links will be in the bio. Do me a favor and go and subscribe and check out my best friend's channel. Her link will also be in the description. She just started a YouTube channel, and I know that I told y'all before that we had a radio show called the QK Code, and we are continuing that here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to her channel, subscribe to the QK Code channel. That channel's link will also be in the bio. And we just got a lot in store for y'all, so we need y'all to stick with y'all. We need y'all to smash them like buttons. We need y'all to stick around, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so y'all don't miss nothing, because y'all don't want to miss it, because we about to get crazy on here. So like I said, thank you for tuning in, and I'll check you out in the next video. Peace.